Hi there everyone, once again you're welcome to your favorite channel, the Mental Freedom Channel. Yeah, this is your host, Pastor Emmanuel Sobotamba. We're continuing with this interesting journey, and without waste of time, we're going to look at a very vital aspect today, still in line with our mental health issues. Love, you will bear with me that there are a lot of misconceptions, a lot of myths and fallacies when it comes to this subject matter of mental health disorder. And one of the first misconception is that mental health disorder is not a sickness, is not real. It's not real, that is superficial. Listen and listen very careful, beloved. Mental health disorder, just like any other sickness, is very real and genuine. As a matter of fact, it is as dangerous and fatal, just like they said, malaria is one of the sicknesses that kill. That's how mental health disorders are, and even much more. Because I just tried to, in the previous videos, I gave us statistics on the rate of suicide that was just in US. Yes, but we don't want to talk about the other nations, just US in particular. 40,000 deaths. See, the mortality rate of 40,000 per year. I'm talking per year just in US. Then you can imagine the other nations. You can imagine even stretching for to Africa. So it's a very serious and severe sickness that kills, even just like malaria, and even much more, because it instigates and triggers violence. And not only that, it also requires treatment in different dimensions, because we'll be looking at that subsequently, but in brief, for us to properly tackle this sickness, we look at it in what they call the holistic approach. Holistic approach. Why holistic approach? Because man primarily is a spirit that has a soul and resides in a body. It resides in a container called the body. So therefore, for you to properly do a diagnosis and delve into the solution of it, you need to look at it globally, or in what we call a holistic approach. You look at the spirit aspect, you look at the spiritual aspect, you look at the mental aspect, which is the mind, and of course the body, which is the medical aspect of it. Yes, because we are going to see there are some, of course, that will need some medications for it to be sorted out. And then with the mind, it will need a psychiatrist to deal with that. And of course, the spiritual, which is a number of platforms, or there are a number of mediums that can be applied spiritually. Yes, not to talk of prayers, fasting, and the Word of God, and much more, love. So we'll be looking at all of that in details subsequently. So mind you, mental health disorders are real, just like any other sickness. And secondly, many believe that most mental health people, they are violent. No, it's not necessarily the case. Yes, not necessarily the case, because it all depends on the temperament, just like in case of addictions. Yeah, because it's not, there are some people, of course, who after consuming drugs, they become violent, but that is, it depends on their temperament, and also the type of drug that they take. Because we have depressants as well as stimulants. So stimulants, they bring out the violent nature, and you want depressants, they rather calm down your nerves. So it depends. So it's not a general or a rule of thumb that every mental health challenge, this other person should be violent. No. So as a matter of fact, those like introverts, most of them, they go through it and they suffer a lot without people even paying attention to it. they only discover maybe at the terminal phase. Unfortunately, that maybe the worst had happened, that maybe you heard that this person has drunk poison and died and all the like, when it's already late. So, and there are also some cases that lead to homicidal tendencies, because you hear the rate of homicide, that children killing each other and killing people in school. Yeah, all of that, they stem out from mental health disorders. It's as a product of that. So it's not necessarily about violence. There are people, introverts, who go through that. They are introverts who go through that. So one of the reasons also why people are afraid to admit or to seek for help is because of the stigma. Many mental health challenges, where they are being stigmatized, they are being looked upon like mad people, that are treated like people who are mentally deranged. But there are stages when it comes to mental disorder. There are different stages. And it interests you to know that many people suffer from mental health disorders than they know. So just because it's been trivialized, people don't take it serious. But it's hard time. We take it serious. I think with the skyrocketing mortality rate, we need to take it very serious. Like any other sickness, we need to put up a fight against it. Please make sure that you share and you subscribe. Share. You don't know, you may be saving a life. There are people out there, believe me, who really need this. There are people who really need this. Until you share, until you subscribe and share, you may never know.